Welcome back. Today we'll be covering one of the most sought after glitches since 1.1.2, creature duplication. And this doesn't just work with creatures. This glitch will work with any item, and there's no limit, single quantity requirement, dispensers, or throwing involved. The glitch we'll be using for this is called Bundle Item Duplication, or BID, and it was discovered by Auk. To do this, we'll just need a few things. First off, you'll need to get a horse and go tame it. Then you'll need to get 5 apples if you don't already have some, and finally a few steering sticks. We'll also be watching memories from the Purapad during this, so make sure you can do that. For location, we need to find any like in a Cull zone, which basically means a like in a cave. For the video, I'll be using the cave that runs between Lookout Landing and Hyrule Castle, but there are other locations you can do this in, such as Hateno Village. So to start, we need to get on our horse and take it to the Castle Town gate. The specific location doesn't really matter, but I like to put it in front of this room because it makes things much easier later on. We'll be leaving the horse here, so once it's in position, hop off, then warp or run down to Lookout Landing. When you get there, hop down into the emergency shelter and enter the cave through the hole in the north wall. Just keep to the left down this path and you'll eventually reach the room with the like. When you get there, hop down off the ledge and look for this circle here on the ground. We're going to be using this to line ourselves up. Stand in the center of that circle, you don't need to be super precise. Then open up your menu and take out a steering stick. Now take a few steps forward and stop when you see the control prompt appear. If the like hasn't noticed you by this point, then you'll need to throw an item at it to get its attention. If you do, you may need to readjust your position to get that control prompt back. When the like aggros, make sure that it's targeting the steering stick and not Link. If it's targeting Link, you'll have to dodge the attack and get back into position with a new stick. When it locks on, it'll open up and the bulb inside will pulse 4 times before lunging. We need to press A at roughly the time when a 5th pulse would happen to mount the stick as it gets eaten. If timed correctly, Link will get eaten, but the camera will stay in place. If the camera follows the like back, your timing was off and you'll have to reset and try again. Once eaten, you can wiggle the left stick to make the like spit faster, then after that it'll chew a little longer, then spit 2 more times. When that's done, it'll aggro onto Link and try to attack him again. When it does, your character model will return and you'll regain control. As soon as you get up, open the menu and take out another steering stick. We're just going to mount this and hop off to break the lock on our ability wheel. Now head behind the like and ascend up through the ledge. Then once again to get out of the cave. When you poke out, climb up and immediately sprint over to your horse, making sure to stand facing it. Now watch the health bar floating around underneath you and wait for the question mark to go away. When it does, Link will disappear. This is called culling. Once Link culls, hold down L and select recall, then pull up the Purapad and watch a memory. As always, you can just skip through this. When it's done, close out of the menu and Link will be in recall. Now this is going to be the hard part. We need to press B to exit recall, then press plus after a short delay, but not so long that Link gets culled again. Then in the menu, you need to hold an apple and unpause. We want to time this so when we unpause, Link gets culled immediately after raising his hands to start holding the apple. There are a few different things that can happen when you unpause, but this is the only scenario that will let us proceed. The best visual indicator I can give you is to pause when Link is in this position. This is the last frame before the menu comes up with perfect timing. If you time this properly, your horse will notice the apple and come up to eat it while you're culled. This will cause us to end up holding an invisible item. Now, while I was writing this out, Lightos in the speedrun Discord informed me of a different setup he found that cuts out a lot of the timing burden, so I wanted to quickly go over that before we continue. For this setup, we're going to wait until Link is culled, then pull up the Purapad. Load a memory and immediately hold L. Without letting go, skip through the memory, then wait in the menu for a little bit when it's done. While still holding L, close the menu and your ability wheel will come up. Select the map rune and open it up. Now press plus to get to your inventory, hold your apple, and close out. This method is far from consistent, but it's an alternative if you're having trouble with the timing or just don't want to put up with trying it. But with that all out of the way, Let's continue. So next step, we need to drop our invisible apple. To drop the apple, we need to interrupt our culling so we can make inputs. This can be done by loading up and watching memories. When you close out of the menu, Link will be unculled for a brief period of time, and during this window, we're allowed to make regular inputs. So we need to utilize this to move up the stairs and drop the apple. Be careful that you don't press B at any time during this, or you'll put away the invisible apple and the glitch will break. Once the item's on the ground, we need to do the same thing to get back and mount our horse. You won't be able to interact with anything while we're in this state, so you'll need to jump toward the horse between memories to mount it. If you're already familiar with stick culling, this means you can't use a steering stick to break the cull like you normally would. You need to jump on the horse. Once on, you can immediately jump off and head back to where you dropped the item. Now pull up the menu and hold 5 apples. Close out and you should see the bundle of apples on the ground. Now open the menu again and remove 4 of the apples. You need to make sure that you do not remove that first apple or stop holding at all, or this glitch will break. I have seen this done by holding only 1 apple and then 4 of the item you want to duplicate, but in my experience, I have yet to have this work. So I recommend holding 5 apples the first time because that has worked consistently every time I've tried it. From this point, the dupe is fully set up. To actually duplicate, just hold 4 of whatever item it is you want to dupe and close the menu. The first time you do this, you'll see 4 apples appear on the ground instead of your items. These are those 4 apples that we removed from our hold bundle just a moment ago. You'll also see that the bundle on the ground has now changed to reflect whatever items you're currently holding. So the way this works is whenever you update the items being held, the bundle that's desynced on the ground will update as well, and that will force the old items in the bundle out onto the ground. This means every time you change what you're holding, the items that drop will be what you had last time you changed the held items. So if you wanted to dupe fairies, you would need to hold the fairies, close the menu to update the bundle, open the menu again, change what item or how many of them you're holding, and close the menu again so the new items force those fairies out. Then next time you change the hold, the items that push the fairies out will instead be the ones that get pushed when you close the menu, and so on and so on. A bit of a warning, there is a possibility that your items may slingshot around when you close the menu. I've never encountered this, but I don't know if that's a consequence of my game version or using this room. If this does end up happening to you, you can try doing this in a location near water. Dropping the invisible item in a body of water while you set it up will prevent the items from getting flung. Creatures, however, do not seem to be affected by this, so you don't have to worry about your fairies or lizards or butterflies getting launched away from you. Now, that's the duplication, but we're not done yet. If you remember from earlier, we can't currently interact with anything, meaning we can't pick these items up. Luckily, we have a way to get around this. Hold down ZL to lock your camera, then jump in any direction. Before you land, hold R like you're gonna throw something, then as soon as Link's feet touch the ground, hold up on the D-pad and select any item. If done right, Link will hold the item out to throw like normal. In this state, you'll be able to pick the items up so long as you keep R held down. If you time the D-pad menu wrong, you won't be able to take the item out. The interaction lock prevents us from throwing an item normally, so we need to do the jump trick to make it work. If you're duping regular items, you can get maximum efficiency by holding 4 of your items, closing out, going back into the menu, and removing 1 and immediately adding it back. This will count as updating the bundle and spawn 4 every time. You can repeat this really fast until you hit the ground limit, then just pick everything up at once and repeat the process. If you're duping live creatures like fairies, I recommend doing only 4 at a time as opposed to stacking up the full 21, since they scurry away quick and you will not grab all of them in time. Now, it's worth mentioning that if you do the trick to hold the item to throw so you can pick your items up, you technically don't have to do that every time you want to pick the items up. If you keep R held down when you pause the menu, you can update your bundle and close out, and Link will still be holding the item and you'll be able to just easily pick them back up. However, there is massive risk with this. If at any point while you're in the menu, the controller reads another R input, it'll change your tab, cancel out the hold, and completely break the glitch on you, meaning you'll have to go through the entire process to start this over from scratch. So if you want to do that, you're welcome to, but I do not recommend it simply because of how dangerous it is. Now, while this glitch does rival mid-air sort duping in efficiency, due to the setup, I recommend only using this method for creatures or duping massive quantities of items. I'm talking like hundreds and hundreds at a time. If you just want to dupe a handful of something and that item is throwable, Mineru minus duping or MTD will be much faster for you. I'll have links to both of those down in the description. But when you're done duplicating, you can end this glitch easily by removing all of the held items and closing menu to break the desync. If you try and hold again, you may see that Link has the apple stuck to his hand. You can just close the menu and open back up and that'll be gone. But that's going to do it for this one. Enjoy duping fairies like it's 1.1 again. If this video helps you out, help me out by leaving a like and letting me know down in the comments. Those things really help out the channel. You can find links to my Twitch and Twitter down in the description, as well as a link to my Discord. If you'd like to support the channel, consider becoming a member for only 99 cents a month. Got a new project that I'm hoping to put out next month, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell if you don't want to miss that. Who knows, you may even see some familiar faces. But that's all from me. I'll see you in the next one.